Hi guys, this is Warwick from Casual Chess, back for another 5-minute game today. Looks like I'm versing an opponent from Peru. He started with d4 and I'll play d5. We'll get into a queen's pawn opening and we'll see how we go. Okay, pretty ordinary type development here. I've got a couple of pieces out. He's got a decent amount of advancement of some of the pawns. E6 now, and we'll play Bd6. I'll take on G3 there with my bishop, kind of ruining the structure of his pawns over towards the king side. And I think now we'll castle. Okay, getting a bit deeper into the game now. I'll play rook e8 and I'll look to play the pawn to e5. Or will I? I actually think allowing the take on f5 would be okay, so what I'll do is I will move forward with, oh no, I won't move forward with my queen. I'll play b6. b6 preventing the knight on b3 from going to c5 or a5. Pretty ordinary here, all expected so far. I'm quite content with this, and I'm expecting the knight to take on c6. If not, I'll dislodge the knight on e5. No, we'll play Ne4 actually. Definitely a well-positioned knight there on e5 at the moment, although I should be able to kick it away with something like f6. Pretty even on time here with my opponent. I'm also targeting the g3 pawn. Not seeing a way for my opponent to defend that. Although they could potentially play g4. Okay, they don't play g4. That's fine. Alright, I see the queen has moved to h5. Not really concerned about this. I simply have the option of taking and takes e5. Okay, a retake with the knight. This is all expected. And now we'll play queen e7. So obviously my opponent can't take on h7 at the moment. All very ordinary here, dropping back my bishop to g6. I have a feeling my opponent thought he was applying more pressure to me than he really was, but this is all fine. He's got two sets of doubled pawns along the g file, which should mean I'm fairly safe. He's also got some struggles with their doubled pawn on the e file. I'm going to play rook ac8 now, looking to develop my pawn. Here we go, the c pawn. Again, I'm really not concerned about what's happening here on the board. It looks like my opponent's going to try and rid me of that bishop there, but I am simply not worried. C takes d4. f6. Now we may have a problem there on the h7 square. I do think there's a way out here. I think something like h7. Okay. I was actually thinking h7 was a winning move. Or close to. I think I possibly have made an error here. Something like h7, king f7, maybe rook f1. Okay, we've got that queen h7 move now. That was a tremendous error. I don't know why my opponents played that move. Let's replay that. Check. Moving away. Retake. What could possibly that have been intended? Okay, my opponent made some comment. I don't actually understand that. I do wonder what he's saying. Okay, well look, we'll play this game out anyway. Check there on c5. Okay, another check there on c4. Another check on e2. And we'll have checkmate in one after rook c4. Okay, that's game over. Alright, well, a decent game today. I think we'll get into the analysis now and we'll see how that turned out. I feel pretty confident that we only made a few mistakes, something to work on certainly. Okay, so checking up the top right hand corner, you can see that my accuracy score is pretty good. 85.5 to 27.8, not too bad. At one point my opponent did have an advantage of 1.86, and this is probably where, if you read my 6 inaccuracies, 1 mistake and 1 blunder came in. Okay, so playing knight to e4 was a mistake. Sorry, an inaccuracy. But so was retaking. There's that g4 move that I was expecting rather than retakes, and so that was why that was an inaccuracy. However, my opponent missed that move and allowed e4. Another inaccuracy there, queen to h5. I think he simply forgot that he had the option to, or he didn't have the option to take on h7 because my bishop still defended it. Once realized, he did eventually play knight to d2, dealing with that bishop there. And as I was discussing in the game, I think I did make an error. That's an inaccuracy there, and a big blunder with f6. Simply because after this sequence of moves, okay, so my opponent had a better option there, and it was to play rook to f1. And that makes sense, lining up more pieces along the board there. Okay, so really it all fell apart when my opponent threw away his queen there. I'm not sure why he did that, potentially just not thinking things through or thinking his piece was defended when it wasn't. It happens to the best of us, so... Okay, and after that it was game over, so... The report from here says it was a mate in 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I think we played reasonably well here. Did we play the best sequence of moves? Looks that way. Yep. Okay, so some lessons for me for this game. Make sure I'm dealing with the threats along the castled area of the board, wherever that is, queenside or kingside, a little bit more proactively. It was somewhere around here, yeah, when the knight was able to take on g6. I wasn't dealing with that appropriately, and I allowed my opponent to get the advantage because of that. So a little bit of work to be done in the defensive time on the board, but that's okay. And I would probably say playing a little bit more proactively through the middle game as well. I did have an advantage, but I couldn't really fully utilize it. I didn't see options to extend it forward. So working on a couple of middle game tactical maneuvers might be a good idea for me. But overall, a decent game. A few best moves from me, quite a few inaccuracies though. 6 inaccuracies. 1 mistake and 1 blunder. Okay, the blunder is what really would have done it for me if my opponent didn't throw away his queen. But yeah, as I said, these things happen. So okay, I've got my things to work on. Hopefully you enjoyed this game, and hopefully you've got some things that you can work on in your chess playing too. If you liked the video, please give it a like. If you didn't, please let me know what I could do to improve, and I will work on that for you. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.